Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. So welcome to episode 3 of my free-to-play walkthrough and guide of Dungeons & Dragons Online. So if you haven't seen the first 2 episodes, I'll link the playlist below in the description. But in this series, I am playing through the game on a free-to-play account. And in addition to that, I'm also doing a bit of a challenge. I'm not using any auction house or handy downs or gifts from other players, all solo, no guild buffs, just kind of playing through and getting the new player experience and even going a little further. So if at the end of the last episode, we finished up the level 2s in the harbor, which we finished with Bringing the Light right here. So what I did in between episodes is I did run a few quests over, and I would recommend at this point that you don't have to if you don't want to, but I would recommend you go ahead and just take some of your favorite level 2 harbor quests and run them a few times. So when we left, I was a little short of level 4. I'm now up to level 4 because the quest I had rerun, I reran Kobold's new ringleader, and I reran the Haberdasher. I did both of those twice. I did the ringleader on hard and elite, and I did Haberdasher on hard and elite. And I even did it once on R1 just for kicks. But I would recommend you just go around the harbor, pick a few, and maybe get up to level 4. Again, you don't have to rerun, but I think it's to your benefit, especially if you only want to rerun one thing. Definitely your pick is going to be Kobold's newest ringleader, which is the one up here with Guard Junk here. All right, so other things I've done since the last episode, you might see my hotbars are a little bit different. I decided to play with my enhancements a little bit, so this is what I'm rocking at the moment. I thought at this point, don't feel like you have to take any certain enhancement. Just kind of experiment. I mean, especially as a new player, you need to learn what these things do. I decided to go ahead and take the cleave. It's kind of nice to have a cleave at low levels. This is not something I would take it in game, but at low levels, it's nice to have a cleave, which I'll show you how that works right here, which basically, not that was stunning, but that's the cleave. Kind of does a spinning attack to hit enemies around you. In addition to that, it does 20%, extra 20% damage. Just something nice to have at low levels. So I added that to my hotbar here as well. All right, so we got to level 4 off stream. So at level 4, we can slot spells. However, you will see that there's a problem. When we go to our spells here, so if you want to add a spell, you go into a tavern. Have to be in a tavern to do this unless you're VIP. If you're VIP, you can do it anywhere. But but if you're not VIP, actually for VIP, there's a certain amount of time. I think it's like an hour after you log in, but you can relog to get that buff again. But anyways, so you go to your character sheet with the C key, and we at level 4 paladin, we get our first spells. However, you're going to see there's a problem. Let's add a spell. Uh-oh. Your ability score is too low. So on this build, I started with 10 wisdom. We've gotten a little unlucky. So we have not managed at this point to yet pick up a wisdom item. So spells in DDO require you to either place them on your character sheet or place them, select them on your spell list right here, or to cast them at all. You have to have 10 plus the level of the spell in your casting stats. So as a paladin, our casting stats wisdom. So in order to cast level 1 spells, we have to have 11 wisdom, but we've not managed to pick up any wisdom items yet in questing. So we only have 10. So what do? Well, we're going to go to the market and go shopping. And we need to go shopping for some stuff anyway. So as we've been questing, you should be picking up your random gen loot and selling it. So we've managed to work ourselves up to... what are we at? We are at, let's see, we are at about 5,000 platinum. So we're going to go spend quite a bit of that right now. Not just on stuff to help us with our wisdom problem, but also things to help us with some quests that are coming here at level 3. So we're going to run, after we do a little shopping here, we're going to start running our level 3 quests. So if you want to follow along with me, maybe rerun a few level 2s to get up to level 4 like I have here. If you want to. If you want to run these, I mean, we're on normal, so it's going to be very doable at normal running stuff at level, but, you know, you can be up to 2 levels over is really what most people run. So I would say if we're going to run your level 3s, you could even rerun the harbor quests all twice if you wanted to. And again, don't have to do that, but I would recommend just running some of your favorites again. Just have fun with it, but run a few and get up to level 4. If you want to. If you don't want to run these at level 3 that I'm running today, that's fine. So we've gone here to the marketplace. 2 very important vendors. We got a wand vendor and we got a potion vendor. So the first thing we're going to do is solve our little wisdom problem. So here are the wand vendor, he's going to sell a variety of wands. By the way, the big difference between wands and potions, there is some overlap between these. And let me go ahead and buy a wand, and I'll just show you. So we're going to buy a wand of Owl's Wisdom. So for 531 platinum, we get 50 charges of Owl's Wisdom, which gives us a +4 enhancement bonus to Wisdom. So this is going to give us enough Wisdom temporarily to cast the spells we need. So I'm going to go ahead and, how many of these should I do? Probably one is probably good. So we're going to go ahead and just buy one wand for now. So the way wands work, so there's potions and there's wands. All right, so we've got a potion. This is just something I've managed to get. I think I got this in a silver daily dice roll. But potions, you just put them on your hotbar, you click on them, you use them. Wands are a little different. So let's find our wands. Actually, when you want to use them, you have to swap them into your hand. So you have to unequip your weapon. And once you do that, here you go. You got your wand in your hand. And then you have to click the attack button again to use it. So a little different. Wands are also quite a bit slower. And we'll go ahead and use our wand when we get to a tavern here. Not yet, but wands are also a little slower. But that's the kind of the disadvantage of wands. Now the advantage of wands is that they are much cheaper per cast. So this this cost us, what was it, 531 platinum. There's also a potion version of this, Owl's Wisdom, which costs 35 for each one use. So do the math, it's much cheaper per cast to buy wands, but they are slower and they require you to swap out your weapon. So there's some pros and cons to each. Most players are only going to use potions for these types of buffs, but that's because platinum for most players that have been playing for a while is not an obstacle. They have way more platinum than they're ever going to need. But as a new player and a free-to-play player, we only have 5k platinum to work with right now, so we're going with wands. All right, so we've got a variety of other really important potions and wands we can buy here. I'm going to go ahead and buy, just for backup, I think I'm going to go ahead and buy, let's see, probably a cure wand, because we are and we're going to be able to take a cure spell here, but it's just going to be nice in terms of kind of backup here for us for healing, just in case, something really bad happens. So I'm going to go ahead and buy, let's see, I'm going to buy a wand of cure moderate wounds for 531 platinum. So it's going to be about 1,000, but it's going to be worth it. So as a paladin, you can cover over these to see what you can cast. So it says no UMD check for these classes: Cleric, Flavored Soul, Bard, Paladin, Ranger. So we can cast this and not have to worry about like failing. So for example, if you're, say, like an Arcane class, you may fail, not be able to cast these depending on what your UMD is. So that's another reason we take UMD, the UMD skill, because that allows us to kind of have once we get high enough, we're going to have a no fail on some of these wands. So like we have some UMD. So even though this, for example, wand of detect secret doors is an arcane wand, we have a little bit of chance to activate because we have some UMD. All right, so that's basically what it does. But anyways, we're going to buy one cure moderate wounds wand just for some backup healing for ourselves. And I think that's probably it as far as wands that we're going to use. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. So let's go to potions. So there's some important potions you want to pick up, some really vital curatives here. So there's a lot of essential things. So like potion of curse removal. If we get cursed, we want to be able to deal with that. So we're going to use most of our platinum here. So we're going to buy probably, I'm going to say like 10 curse pots. We definitely want some, where are they? Definitely going to buy some poison. Let's go ahead and buy, let's do like 10 poison. And we want some resist. Actually, I'm not sure if that's available. Let me actually check, because I don't think, let me double check, make sure none of these are available on wands, because there is some overlap with wands. Let's see. Yeah, nothing I can see here. Okay. So we are going to take a couple things here. So let's go ahead and do our basics. So we're going to do disease is another one. If we get diseased, we can cure it. Let's do, because we are going to be a little short, let's do 5 of those. And let's see, there's going to be a lot of poison stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and let's do like 15 of those. We need some resist fire. There's going to be quite a bit of fire. Do that. Let's do 10 resist fire, and let's do 10 resist acid. So there's some acid coming up as well. Let's see. These are really important for us, especially since we don't have guild buffs. So guild buffs can provide these things if you're in a guild. But for us, we're going to go ahead and take a few of these. I'm thinking about possibly resist electricity. But I think I will, let's see. I will go ahead and go with like 5 resist electrics. I don't think we need cold. There's not a lot of cold damage I can think of. At the moment, we got our disease removal. We got our poison. We need some curse. Let's see. Curse removal. Just in case we get curse, we'll go ahead and take 10 of those. And I think that's going to be it for our shopping, guys. Yeah, we got disease, poison, curse. Oh, we also need, where is it at? Lesser restore. Okay, this is an important one because this will help cure us from any ability score damage we get. So that's, I think 10 of those, we should be good. All right, so we're going to use about almost all of our platinum here, but it's worth it. All right, so we're now down to 120 platinum, but we got a lot of important stuff we're going to need. So let's go ahead and put this stuff on some hotbars here. So I did a little bit of rearranging also on the hotbars. You see, I did keybind a few things. So if you look on the bottom here, you can see my hotbars. My top 4 here are bound to shift 1, shift 2, shift 3, shift 4 for easy use for me on my keyboard. If you want to learn more about key bindings, I have a whole video. Just type in DDO Axel hotbar tutorial. You'll find it on YouTube, but it'll show you how to do key binding and all that in hotbar management. Also, I bound this melee range power from Paladin on the J key. I just like using JKL semicolon for my buffs. So that's what I've done there. Also got a hireling here. Go ahead and use her. We'll put her like over here. Let's put our new potions and wands down on our hotbar just for ease of use. Just going to drag them down. By the way, guys, please, and I have had a really good comment from last video from Flinna YouTube, who posted some things, which I'm going to go through some of those. But if you got questions or things you want me to talk about while I'm recording these videos, any questions, please put them in a YouTube comment and I will respond as I can. So we're going to put our wand over here. But yeah, I kind of realized that after doing this for a few videos now that I really need something to fill the time, because I need to actually talk a little bit. I can't just be like, oh man, go straight in this quest, go left here, pull this lever. It gets a little boring. So I want to be able to have topics I can talk about as I do this. Okay, so we got our wand. Wand of Owl's Wisdom. So we're going to go to swap our spell. We're going to go in here. Okay, so it won't let us slot this, but we're going to get our wand, and I was going to show you here how these work. So wand, you swap on, it swaps off your weapon, you cast it, boom, you got the buff. So you also, if you're going to be swapping off to wands, you need to make sure you take your main weapon and put it on your hotbar so you can quickly swap back to it. By the way, you don't want to be searching through your inventory to equip your weapon in between each. So now it buffed us, right? So we went from 10 wisdom to 14 wisdom. So now, look at this. We can slot spells. Hey guys, sorry about the jump cut there in the video, but I had to think a little bit about this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Divine Favor. There's a bunch of choices you could pick here. I thought about going with Cure Light Wounds, and then I kind of realized, wait, we're going to have a hireling. We have our Cure Wand. We'll probably be fine with that, without that. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Divine Favor. Now, Divine Favor is interesting because it's a short-term buff, and it gives you a luck bonus. So a luck bonus will stack with any bonus that's not also a luck bonus, but it gives you an extra attack and damage for a short period of time. Now, the drawback to taking that now is it does cost 10 spell points, and it's a short-term buff, but it might be good for some boss fights and things, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. We don't really need the cure right now, I wouldn't say, just because we do have our Cure Wand and our Hireling. And plus, since we're running a normal, that really does affect my choice here. We're not going to be taking a lot of damage. If I was running this stuff on Elite R1, I'd be much more likely to take Cure Light Wounds. But yeah, we'll go ahead and go with Divine Favor for now. But guys, really, feel free to go what you want. You want some more healing? Go with Cure Light Wounds. Bless is a solid buff as well right now, although running a normal, even the +1 attack, we should be fine with Hard to Hit right now. We got, although it's not bad, Lionheart, immune to fear, Virtue is might be pretty good actually, pretty good choice because it gives you temporary hit points. So we're gonna go with Divine Favor. So yeah, let's go with that. All right, guys. So now we are finally about ready to quest. I'm just realizing now that I have not done my roll. So you do have your daily dice roll every day. You get one per day, one per real life day. So let's see what we get today. Get a free silver, 100 experience points, which is unfortunately the worst, pretty much the worst roll we could get. So we'll go ahead and take that now. But all right, let's run to our first quest. And I am kind of going back and forth about what I want to start with. I think we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and finish off the ones in the harbor first. What we're going to do is we're going to run, I think around seven quests or so today. They're all going to be level 3s. So let's go ahead and finish off with the level 3s that are in the harbor here. We can also, if we want, we could pick up a level 4 hireling instead of a level 3 to kind of upgrade our hireling there. Maybe I'll do that later. Although, I'm not too concerned about the quest today. But all right, let's go to Home Sweet Sewer, which is over here. And then we're going to go to the 2 quests, which are down here closer to the docks over there in the Cerulean Hills. A couple things I did want to mention. So we talked about Auction House last time. Talked about mail last time. One thing I didn't mention, in the quest we're going to run is up here, but I need to point out banks. So you do have a banker here in the harbor. There's a banker in most public areas, but the banker is what it sounds like, right? So you have a character bank. You have 20 slots right now. If your inventory is full, if you have an item that you particularly like but you don't want to use right now, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and dump this Lesser Heart in my bank, but you can just do this, guys. It's just extra storage for you. And there's also other factions, so Corn Lords, House Kunderact, you do quests for them, you get enough favor, you can unlock additional bank space. So yeah, so we're going to throw our Lesser Heart. So this Lesser Heart is what we started with. I believe, I'm not sure, so don't quote me on this, but I started with this. So I believe, yeah, since this is a free-to-play account, I believe SSG or Standing Stone Games, who makes the game, just starts players with this now. So what this Lesser Heart of Wood does is it lets you retake your like your all your level ups if you want to. If you mess up your character and you're gonna redo your character, you can redo your level ups. Now you can't change a couple things you can't change when you do this. You can't change your race, and you can't change your classes with an LR +0, which is what we call Lesser Heart of Wood without any pluses like +2 or +3 on it. This is just an Lesser Heart +0. So you can change your feats, you can change your skills, you can change your cosmetic look, you can change your feat selections, skill selections, stat selections on level ups, but you can't change your race or your class levels. And to use this, it kind of tells you here, but you need to go to the Hall of Heroes, which is located in the central part of the marketplace, and then go to the Reincarnation Grove, which is right inside there in the Hall of Heroes. So just FYI, if you want to use it, you can do that. But okay, but that's what Banks is, guys, and that's what the Lesser Heart of Wood is. That was one of Flena's questions on YouTube, like what does that Lesser Heart do? It's in my inventory. Okay, let's go to our first quest here, which, where is it? I think it is, oh yeah, it's over here. Okay, that's right. I didn't have the yellow exclamation mark. That's because I talked to them last time in the last video thinking it was a level 2 quest. So Home Sweet Sewer, this is a really short solo quest that is level 3, so we can't select difficulty. It's just solo. So this one's really easy. All we do here is, and you don't want to use a hireling here because it'll attack the dogs. There's a bunch of dogs here, and all we're going to do is get these dogs. When they aggro on us, we're going to lead them back to the entrance. So one thing you want to make sure you do, take your auto attack off. Do not summon hirelings because you don't want them to kill the dogs, because it's one of these where you can't aggro or you can't kill the dog. Kind of like Stealthy Repossession we ran last time. You want to make sure that you don't kill any dogs. See, it says up here in your objectives. So what we could do, and what I probably should do, is just, I don't really need to run them back one by one. I can just run through the level here, let them all see me, and then we'll just run them back. So these ones see me. We got 3 here. So they'll hurt you a little bit. I mean, on normal, we should be fine. On elite, maybe a little careful. Actually, I'm sorry. This is a solo. What am I talking about? This is a solo quest. So we can't run this on elite because it's a solo quest. Durr. Okay. Dogs can be actually a pretty, like we talked about in Bringing the Light last video. They can be actually a pretty. Oops, I am running the wrong way, aren't I? Yeah, they can be a pretty dangerous enemy actually at low levels. There's a lot of, you know, quadrupeds in this game, like cats later on, that can trip you, which is very bad. They can make you well, it doesn't make you helpless, but they trip you and you can't do anything. You just sit there and take damage. So yeah, just to get the dogs, lead them out the door. Pretty easy quest. Just waiting for them to run here. There we go. Yay. You know, may as well do that quest. Takes just a minute. That's it for that one. Not a lot of HP, but okay. So now that we got that one, we're going to run over to this part of the map, back down to where we were near Bringing the Light. We're going to run Kobold Assault, and then we're going to run out to the Cerulean Hills and run 2 quests out there. Kobold Assault is a kind of like Cainith Crystal. So if you remember Cainith Crystal and Korthos, it's similar in that it's also a tower defense style quest. Now, it's not like Cainith Crystal in that you don't have anything to defend, but it is kind of a quest where you basically you stand in one place and let waves and waves of enemies, waves and waves of enemies will come at you, and you need to knock them down. So this will be a good one to start getting into some of the topics you all had in the YouTube video from last time. So let's see. We need to talk to, I think it's Guard Crichton. Yeah, so Extreme Challenge Dungeon. So some of these also, it'll point this out. I think we'll be fine on normal, but some of these, if it's marked as Extreme Challenge Dungeon, just be aware it's a little more difficult than normal, is all that means. So there's a treasure chest here, but it's locked. So we're going to go ahead and get our hireling here. We'll see how this goes. I actually forgot that this was actually a extreme challenge dungeon. So we'll see how it plays. I mean, I'm expecting it to be fine on normal. Lots and lots. So it says slay 200 kobolds. So yeah, it's a lot. This quest is a lot of just hanging out, killing kobolds. Oh, we're taking some damage, actually. A lot of fire damage. I'll probably drink a fire resist here if we run into a bunch of problems. Okay, so as we're sitting here, since this is definitely not a very exciting quest to for me to like just entertain you just with gameplay, we'll get into some of these topics. So the first one Flynn asked about in their comment was stats don't stack on items. Okay, so stacking in DDO. Let's talk about stacking in DDO. That's something a lot of new players get confused about. So here's the straightforward way to explain this. The general rule in DDO is you need to look at the bonus type. if the bonus type, which could be many different effects. So let's just take stats, for instance. So some common bonus types are equipment bonus, insight bonus, quality bonus, exceptional bonus. Those are just a few that I can name here. If the bonus is different, so if you have an equipment bonus and an insightful bonus, they stack. So if you have a +2, let's just say +2 to strength equipment bonus on your item and a +1 insightful bonus on an item, those will stack to make a +3. However, if you have a +2 equipment bonus and a +1 equipment bonus, you're still only going to get +2 because effects that are the same do not stack with each other. So that's kind of the main thing with, does an item stack or not? Does this stack with this? That's really the main thing you need to know. You need to pay attention to what bonus type is it, and you can tell by looking at the item description. Now, if it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't say, and there's certainly some exceptions. So one thing is enhancements generally stack with everything. So if you see something on your, your enhancements, your enhancement tree, like, maybe there's something else. So like right here, Slayer of Evil says you also gain +1 to attack versus evil creatures. So that's going to stack with everything because it's an enhancement. Generally, enhancements that don't have a specific bonus will stack with everything. There's also later on certain exceptions with filigree and sentient weapons. This is way later on in the game, like over level 20. These sentient filigree that are in different equipment slots will stack with each other even if it's the exact same filigree. So there's a little bit of a few little exceptions here and there, but generally that's what you want to go with. That's how you can keep straight on that. Most of these things that you'll see on just regular items. So let's see if we have anything equipped here. Better like actually pay attention to the quest a little bit. But so we have insightful combat mastery. Yeah, this is a good one. Let's talk about this. So we have, where is that? So we have this great axe right here. Okay, it's stunning +1, enhancement bonus to the DC of stunning blow and stunning fist. So it gives us a +1 to our stunning blow DC, right? So we also have this armor we're wearing, which has insightful combat mastery, which is insight bonus to the DC to resist trip, prove trip, sunder, stunning blow, stunning fist, etc. So those are different bonus types because the armor one's insightful. So that will stack with, they will stack with each other. Okay. So yeah, I think that's pretty clear. I think it's about as clear as I can be with does stuff stack. But most things you see on items will not stack. Like if it just says, like, let's find one that just says, like strength +1. Most every item that has most items just on random gen loot will just have this enhancement bonus or equipment bonus is what I'm calling it. But they for the most part won't stack. But just look at the bonus types. Okay, what else can I say here? So, oh yeah, social tab and grouping was the next thing that Flynna asked about. So let's talk about that a little bit. So if you do want to play with other players, just hit the O key on your keyboard, and let me put this down a little bit, and you'll see the social tab, which is the main, what we call LFM, or looking for members, looking for party members. You can see everyone on the server right now that has posted. So you can post, if you decide to create an LFM, you can create your own public groups, hit create, and you can find your quest to post the quest you're running, what level range you're allowing, any comments you have, and that's how players find each other outside of, say, communities like Discord. You can also invite players to your group individually, so you can type /invite and then the character name, or you can just, oftentimes if you see the character is running in a public area, you can click on the character portrait right here. If you're looking in the bottom right, this is the character portrait, and then click invite from this little gear icon. Also, you can invite directly from, say, if they're in your guild, you can go to the guild tab and invite. So there's a bunch of different ways. You can also go to the Who tab, which is a list of everyone on the server. If you find someone, you can click invite. So you can search everyone on the server by name that's online currently. So there's a bunch of ways. But basically, if you decide to group with other players, this is where you go, the grouping tab. Now, I will say as a new player, I would recommend you either play with other players that are brand new or solo for a little while. I think the best experience is if you can find like 3 or 4 friends that all want to try this game together for the first time. That's such a great experience. It's probably the best way to experience the game as a new player. But if you're, by yourself, which is going to be most of you, I would say solo for a little while so you can learn the game. Because the thing is, most players who play this game have been playing for quite a while and are veterans. It's a very veteran-heavy population. It's an old game, right? So if you jump into a group, I don't know that you're going to have the best experience because a lot of veteran players, they run through quests very, very fast. And they often have powerful characters who have really good gear, who have done a lot of reincarnations and have really, a lot of buffs from past lives. So I think as a new player, if you join, like a brand new player, if you join most groups, you're going to find yourself either lagging behind the group, like just running and trying to catch up the whole time, or you're just going to find yourself doing what we call piking, which is not really you're in the group, but you're not really contributing. So I would say, at least for your first life, stick mostly to soloing. Now, for some quests, like maybe the harder dungeons or especially raids, you should group up for that, because you kind of have to. I mean, you don't technically have to, but raids are really built. I mean, raids can be almost every raid in this game can be soloed except for Vaughn 5, which Vault of Night Part 5 is really the only raid in the game that can't be soloed. But realistically, you're probably going to need a group to do the raids in this game. Not that there's a couple free-to-play raids like Tempest Spine, and I think Hound of Zoriat is also free-to-play. So there's a couple if you want to dip your toes into raids. Those are run... Hound of Zoriat isn't run a lot, but you'll see the occasional LFM for Tempest Spine if you want to check that out. Okay, so next question, topic I'm going to go over is resurrection, dying and resurrecting. How does that work? And by the way, we're up to about 28 kobolds left. All right, so when you die, which thankfully I haven't done yet, but when you die, you have a couple options. So you can recall out to your bind point, which boots you out of the quest back to the tavern. Now at this point, you can still re-enter the quest and finish it if you want, but you will take a re-entry XP penalty. You can also, your hireling can raise you if you have a hireling. Now, we're not to the point yet where the hirelings can raise us, which I'll probably run by the hireling vendor, actually. I should have done that before this quest, because I think we have a few, well, yeah, hirelings are cheap, so we'll be able to afford them. But we get to a certain level, and I'm not sure exactly what hireling level, but they'll start having raise spells to be able to resurrect you if you die. Also, there are resurrection shrines. So if you have, let's say even if your hireling doesn't have resurrect, if they can pick up you can command them to pick up your soul stone, and they can bring you back to a resurrection shrine. Of course, if you have a party member. Okay, my computer's beeping at me. I'm not sure what that was, but it seems like the recording is still fine. If you have a party member, they can obviously pick you up, raise you, if they have a raise spell. So there also is the store option, obviously. Like we have the one resurrection cake here, which we got in Korthos, if you remember. So that's a one-time, like, pick yourself up. But I think there is a perception with a lot of new players that's like the only way to resurrect yourself is to like pay for it in the store, which is not the case. So here's a resurrection shrine. If I were to die right here, I can just run over and raise myself here. Have a hireling bring me over here if I'm out of range. And when you die, you have a soul stone, so you have a little bit of leeway. Like you can run for a ways. So oftentimes you can make it to the resurrection shrine. There's also, now it is a paid pack. There's a couple other things you can do in the game. Like there's the Cursed Blade of Jack Jibbers, which is a really rare item, but it's a trinket in 3 Barrel Cove, which is not a paid pack, which is a paid pack. Unfortunately, it's not free, which lets you self-raise as a wraith for 1 minute, and then you die again. There's also other enhancements like Monk. If you play a Monk, there's a tier 5 ability called Rise of the Phoenix, where you can self-raise. But for the most part, when you get a little higher level and we get hirelings that can raise themselves, can raise others, I mean, you can pretty much have a free resurrection if you just get your hireling and just keep them in a safe spot, or you do what we said earlier, which is like park them with this command at the beginning of a quest. You can just do that if you want, and then if they do happen to die, or if you happen to die, you can just call them to you and have them raise you. So, or have them pick up your soul stone and run it to a resurrection shrine. So there's a lot of ways. You really don't ever have to. It's not like this game is like, oh, you gotta pay to resurrect. That's never the case. Or I mean, you can always just, if it's a long quest and you die at the end, you can always just recall and re-enter. Now you have a certain amount of time to do this. I forget the exact time. It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes maybe before the instance resets. But you have quite a while where you can run back and get back into the quest and finish it. You do. I think the re-entry penalty, if I remember correctly, is around 20% or so. But it's not like it's better than if you're in the end of a long quest. You know, it's better to take that penalty and finish. Especially if you're doing what we're doing and you're on normal and you die, because then at least if you finish, you can re-enter. If you want to rerun it again, you'll have unlocked hard. Right? So, okay. All right. So that's it for Kobold Assault. You stand there, you kill kobolds. Really nothing else. I mean, the XP is pretty decent. 2,500. It's not bad. All right, we get anything good? Still looking for a wisdom item. The other item I really want is a great sword, because we have a few enhancements here in Knights of the Chalice that only benefit us if we have a favored weapon. And this gives us great sword as a favored weapon, but I haven't taken that yet because we haven't managed to pick up a great sword. But if we get that, we can get +2 in attack from damage from this. We can get extra imbue die. We can get, because we'll be able to benefit from our imbue toggle because it only affects favored weapons. So we can get a big DPS increase if we get. I would love to get like some kind of nice great sword would be wonderful. All right. Ooh, bastard sword. I got a little excited there. Let's see. Axe Bane. Proof against poison. Move silently. I mean, doesn't really matter. Let's see. Death block. Radiance. We don't need. Fire absorption, which actually isn't terrible. So we're going to be in a quest with a bunch of fire. You know, I might take that actually and swap that on, because we're going to shortly have some quests with I'm gonna have to create more hotbars, but pretty shortly here we're gonna have let's actually do this. I actually don't really need these potions on my hotbars, but okay, let's go ahead and go to our hireling vendor here. We can go ahead and buy a better hireling. Let's go ahead and buy. Do you have level 4s available? Okay, we actually don't here. Okay, well, never mind. Well, we could run back to the marketplace and get a better hireling, because they do sell level 4s in the marketplace, but we won't bother. Do we have any enhancement points to spend? No, we don't. Okay. So, let's see. So here we can actually buy spell components if I wanted to. Let's see. I'm thinking about it. Spell components. There's a few spells that require. See the red here? Like that, for example, requires paladin spell components. This person actually, let me see. Is it in the other? Divine magical. Actually, she doesn't sell paladin. That's surprising. So she does not sell. Let's try general wares. SSG should fix this. She doesn't sell paladin spell components. Wow. Huh. Anyways, well, it's okay. We don't need them. We don't need them right now. We'll need them later, though. But okay, we're going to run to Cerulean Hills. So we got 2 quests in here, which are both fairly straightforward. First one we're going to run is, so there's one that's going to be here to the southeast and one right to the west here. So we're going to go west. And this is another wilderness area, so the second one we've encountered, other than the one in Korthos. So if you want to, you can run around, explore this, have some fun. I mean, have some, guys, please, as a new player, don't feel like you have to do these things, you have to do these things. Have fun. If you want to explore Cerulean Hills, go explore Cerulean Hills. It's got rare encounters you can find. It's got explorer points you can find and explore. It's got structures you can look at, scenery. If you want to explore, go explore, kill some stuff. If you get to, so it has Slayer, rares, explorers, just like Korthos. So if you want to do that, do that. It's a pretty decent one to explore. It's not a, you can see by the map, it's not that big. But yeah, just go have some fun if you want to. I'm not going to do that because I don't think that would make for the, I guess, funnest of videos to watch. We're going to focus on quests, but if you want to, do it. Get you some XP. So we got to go this way. I don't actually want to jump off yet. I don't want to take falling damage. Okay. I would kind of like to run into a rare encounter just to show you one. But it looks like that's not going to happen. So yeah, so we got the 10 threshold, so 25 is next. We're going to get more XP if we get to 25. We just got, see, we got 150 XP because this caravan is one of the 14 explorer points. So we found one of them. But all right, we're going to step into where there's smoke. In this quest, we got to make our way to this farmhouse and kill some orcs. All right, let's get our, go and get our hireling out here. I think our last hireling expired. We have a few level 3s still to use. Can we go ahead and put this over here.
Things look peaceful on the road to...
All right, so I still haven't used Divine Favor yet. So this quest has some optionals where you can gather dogs, kind of like the quest we just ran, where you have to gather dogs and bring them to the entrance. You can also do that here, but you don't have to. It's just an optional. So I'm not gonna, I don't think I'm gonna do that, but you can if you want to. Which, see, there's one dog here. Nah, I don't think I'm going to. I'm just gonna stick to the main path. I don't think through this playthrough I'm going to do optionals unless it's very convenient or if it's happens to be particularly worth it. Smoke cured ham, yeah. So that's just a tavern. Something you can use in a tavern. It's not important. We'll be selling that.
Orc raiders have thrown up a cruel
so this stuff we can break. Kind of cool mechanic here. You break the breakables and then the orcs fall down to where you can kill them. Or if you're a ranged character, you know, you can hit them with your bow or whatever, obviously. Okay, so let's see. Actually, I don't think I have to go this way. So I'm taking a little more damage. Go ahead and get this. Yeah, we can go around here. Pick up this chest. Yeah, just, okay, it's just ham. Alright, well, we can go around. Just continue our way to the end. This quest is pretty nice in that it kind of, the whole map really is revealed here. So I definitely taking a little more damage here. So one thing you'll notice about DDO as you level up and go through the game does get harder as you go along. Not always, I mean, but in general, it does get harder as you go. and the quests will get more complex as you go. Not to say there aren't simple quests here and there. There of course are, but the quests will get, and you'll see more complex quests because the game does hold your hand a little bit at the beginning. So I guess here at the end, I'll finally use my my divine favor. Show you how that works. So we're almost to the end here. So I went ahead and used you can see me using the cleave. I like that because it's a little bit faster. So you still get strike through. So you still get attacks around you on your regular swings, but the cleave adds a little extra damage, and it's a little bit I don't know, it's a little bit nicer, I guess. And I haven't been using... I've been playing my other characters so much, I keep forgetting. I've got Stunning Blow. I could be using Stunning Blow as well, but... as I kind of demonstrated last... If you're just playing... Last video, if you're just playing on normal, it's not as useful, just because... You know, while I can stun stuff, stuff also dies pretty quick on normal, so... It's not as useful as, say, if you're running the, like, on Elite. Stunning Blow is a lot more useful, particularly because you face things called monster champions, and you really want to stun those things to get them out of contention as soon as possible, because, okay, we're going to use our boosts, and, oh, you know what? I didn't actually use my wisdom. I should have used my wisdom wand so I can cast my spells. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so wisdom, item, so now I can... cast my divine favor, but we got interrupted, which is another thing you got to be wary of. So there we go. So let's go ahead and kill this guy. So in DDO, you can get interrupted if you don't have Quicken. So it's something you have to be aware of. Now, if you have the Quicken meta magic, you can apply it to your spells, and they cast faster, and they also become uninterruptible. If you don't have Quicken, then the game uses your concentration spell or concentration skill to determine if you're interrupted or not. But it's in general, it's especially when you get later on in the game, it's really difficult to have enough. It's really not possible to have a high enough concentration to avoid being interrupted. So Quicken becomes pretty important for certain builds. Oh, we got a great sword. All right, so this will work. It has Unholy 1, Tendon Slice 1. Nice. All right. Very cool. Our first great sword, finally. All right, so now we need to reconfigure our enhancements a little bit. We actually can't do that until we get back into a public area. So should I go ahead and do that now, or should I run to the next quest? Let's go ahead and do it after. Yeah, so we don't have to recall. Let's see. We've got Morningstar, Longsword. Okay. Nothing we care about. Yeah, let's go ahead and recall, and I'll reset my enhancements here. We'll get everything set up for our great sword. Might have to give up possibly my cleave here, but it'll be worth. All right, so do we actually have enough money? Let's see. We actually don't. Oh, yeah, we don't have enough. Oh, yeah, we will. We're going to sell the stuff we picked up. Well, we should have enough money to do an enhancement reset. So if you reset your enhancements, it does cost you money. So let's sell this. Let's sell this. Let's sell... I don't think I need this. Or... yeah, I don't need that. We'll keep that one. Okay, we don't need those. That'll be good for now. Okay, so we got 516. So to do enhancement reset, you got to hit reset tree. So this is the enhancement we need. We don't have enough for it. I'm actually thinking we could wait and save some money because we need one more action point. Or we could do a reset. Let's go ahead and reset. Okay, I'm going to take this. One extra smite. Bew die. We want that. go ahead and take our, we'll go ahead and take our cleave. I like our cleave. We'll go ahead and take, now we do have our trance here, which I'm not taking quite yet just because we haven't gotten any charisma items. So it's, and we already have an insight. We already have insightful tactics on our armor. So that's why I'm not taking, so this gives us an insight bonus to the, our DC of our tactical feats, which is based on half our charisma modifier, but it is an insight bonus. So it's not going to stack with our insight bonus on our armor. So later on in the game, when you get higher stats, the trance really comes into play and it's super, super strong. But as of right now, it's not really going to benefit us that much. So that's why I'm going ahead and not take it for now. All right, so we want, this is the main enhancement we want right here. Holy Combatant, +2 with great swords. And then we're also going to want these +1 to attack and damage. So we're going to go ahead and save, yeah, probably save this last enhancement point. All right, sweet. So now got to make sure we drag our enhancements back. You actually don't have to do this. It's more of an OCD thing. Like you can, I could still click on it even though it was grayed out. Like you see, like this cleave is grayed out. We can actually still use it. I don't know why but the game, when you reset and retake, it wants you to, for whatever, it wants you to put it back on the bar. Okay. So we actually don't have Exalted Smite anymore though. I did have to give that up for the time being. So we're going to go with Smite Evil. Put that on there. All right. Oh, in Trip, I accidentally brought off my hotbar. We're going to go ahead and put that there. All right. So now we're going to use our Great Sword. Oh, you know what? I did not realize that. It is evil aligned, isn't it? Okay. Well, we actually aren't going to use the Great Sword yet because I totally missed that it had Unholy, which makes it evil aligned. So because of that, we're good aligned being a paladin, so it's going to give us a negative level, which we don't want. So we ain't going to do that. So unfortunately, I reset my enhancements before I saw that, but it's okay. It's a minimal loss. Maybe we'll pick up a Great Sword in the next... yeah, we're not going to reset again because, okay, so what? We could be using Exalted Smite, and this isn't doing anything for us right now, but that's okay. We will continue. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I totally... That's actually a very rare effect to see on an item. And I should have noticed that before I reset, but I didn't, so my bad. But that's kind of a fluke, to be honest. That's the Great Sword we happen to get. Great Sword that, yeah, it does have Unholy. Okay, well. Our search for a Great Sword continues. Okay, our next quest is going to be down here in the southeast, which is going to be the Captives. This one also is not, it's not too bad. All the quests we're going to run today are fairly straightforward. I think Red Fang the Unruled, which we're going to run in the marketplace here pretty soon, is probably the most difficult quest we're going to run today. We are going to run all the level 3s except for Waterworks, which is a series of 4 quests that are back to back to back in the harbor. That's probably going to be where we start in the next video. And I'm not going to do those level 3s just because the first 2 quests are level 3s and the second 2 are level 4s. And you have to run it all at once because, I mean, technically you don't have to, but it's all in the same wilderness area. So you can't really, you don't really want to, you want to run it all at once, right? You don't want to have to go halfway through it, recall, and then run back to those quests. So anyways, let's go to the Captives here, which I like this quest a lot, actually. You got some nice wide open scenery. Be careful about this bridge here. You don't want to fall off this and die. So we're going to run up and around this hill.
Orcs patrol the road ahead. The Gruul tribe outpost.
Oh, I keep forgetting. I really should be, well, after we kill these guys, we'll go ahead and buff our wisdom. Just, I guess we don't really have to, but well, yeah, I want to in case I need to use Divine Favor. Let's go ahead and do that. Is what I bought them for. So we get 5 minutes. When we use that, we get 5 minutes. Really, I could have bought, if I had more money, you really could bought the Bull Strength ones as well, which give me +4. I believe I'm getting plus, is it +2 or +3? I don't remember off the bat what strength item I have at the moment. There's a +1 there. I thought I had a +2, but it would give us a few extra strength. So really, that would be a nice buff to have, but I knew we were going to be tight on money. We didn't really have any money to spare, so I didn't. But it's not a bad idea. So we got an optional here. So this is where it's good to be able to cast Divine Favor, because we got a mini boss here. We want to be able to get this guy down quickly before he gets too many hits on us. So that's why I took Divine Favor. So Divine Favor, we can use that in conjunction with our human action boost for a nice cumulative burst DPS effect. Now some things you'll see in game do share cooldowns. So like action boost, for example. If we had, say, access to the Vistani tree, we could have gotten haste boost. Or if we took a couple fighter levels, we have access to haste boost in the Kensei tree. We cannot use not human damage. I keep calling it human damage boost, but it's the paladin version. But we can't use paladin damage boost, which gives us bonuses to melee power, which is this thing right here, the yellow thing on my hotbar down here. We can't use that at the same time as haste boost because they are both action boosts and they share the same cooldown. So there's some little rules like that in DDO you have to, which you'll learn as you play through. So here's another mini boss. Which those are labeled as optionals, but I believe they're here every time and they're on the main quest path, so you can't really avoid them. So in this quest, we're rescuing Lady Asdel and a few of her bodyguards. So there's a few NPCs up here that we need to rescue that are in cages. They've been captured by these evil orcs. So as you guys can see, I'm still using a hireling today. There's really no reason not to as a new player, so just make sure, you know, always have a hireling with you. Always, it's just so nice. I don't really need it, like, especially right now. I really don't need it since we're doing normal, but it's still nice to have. See, I'm taking some damage. Okay, here's one of the bodyguards we rescued. Got a couple more. One more over here.
See a captive inside the nearby cell. Judging from the clothes, it must be Lady Asdel. You freed Lady Asdel and her bodyguards.
Okay, we got our main boss, which is over here. Okay, our hireling here. I mean, I'll be fine, but this guy on higher difficulties can do a bit of damage, so just be aware of that. Just, you know, have your buffs ready to go. This guy right here can be, you know, he can be a little nasty. I mean, we'll be fine because we're on normal, but as you can see, he has a little bit more HP than the other mobs. So be prepared. That's why burst DPS is good. You know, they'll get you through, like that Divine Favor, that human damage boost. Or not human. I keep calling it that because that's typically how I use it on these type of builds. But it's actually paladin damage boost. But it's good to have those two, you know. Divine Favor is giving us extra attack and damage. The damage boost is giving us extra melee power. So, yeah. All right, guys. So that's it for that quest.
The road continues east into territory controlled by hostile ghoul tribes.
All right. So now we're done with Cerulean Hills. Let's go ahead and ahead and log out. Now there are other quests here, but those are part of the Gatekeeper's quest. So that's, if you remember, when I showed you in the second video, the Gatekeeper's Grove, there's quests from that pack there. And those are paid, so they are not free to play. Oh, look at this. We got an upgrade to our armor. So this is just a strictly better version of what we're wearing right now because it has extra devotion on it, which doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter a little bit later on, but not really right now. Devotion boosts your positive spell power, so it makes our cures if we were using them. I took Divine Favor instead, but it would have made those a little bit better. So it should also give us a little bit more, yeah, PRR. So go ahead and put that on. Hopefully cosmetically it looks a little better. I'm not a fan of the current armor we got. Yeah, so it gave us 2 extra PR. Ooh, this is ugly. Well, you know, some armors in the game are pretty, some are not. So yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't know what's with the giant 1980s shoulder pads, but all right, anyways. That's a good point. Like, it's one good thing where you can use a Mirror of Glamour. I showed you how to do that last time, but Mirror of Glamoring, if you don't like the look of an armor, you can make yourself a cosmetic armor based off of any item and throw it on here. If you're lucky enough, you could get one through a daily dice roll. I have not been lucky so far. So if I find something I particularly like, and I happen to win through a daily dice roll, you know, a Mirror of Glamoring, we'll use it. And I'll show you how it works. We'll use it on something cool. Let's see. I was kind of holding on to this one. This armor has +3 combat mastery on it. I guess I don't really need to, though. Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice, but like, because that's the best DC we could possibly get. I don't really need the Fox Cunning. So one other thing you can do is I think I showed you how this works before, but like this Cure Wand we have, you can click this lock right here and it'll take it off the list and make it so it becomes unsellable. I really should do that for these so they don't show up anymore. Because I don't want to. It's good to not do that. You don't want to accidentally sell them. This Owl's Wisdom Potion I picked up, I think, in a chest somewhere. These Cure Light Wounds potions, we can probably just get rid of those because they're not very much. We're not going to need them. This Great Sword, unfortunately, we can't use it because it gives us a neg level, so we'll be selling that. Again, if you're not like me, you know, and you want to... Oh, we just took some permanent damage. I'll explain that in a minute. If you're not like me and you're not challenging yourself by not using the auction house, you know, feel free to go on the auction house and find yourself... Go find yourself a nice greatsword at this point. But I'm just... As a personal challenge, as I explained before, I'm not using the auction house. Okay, we're going to go now. So that's it for our harbor quests. So we're going to leave the harbor. We're done with the harbor for now, but we're going to come back later on and go to the sewers, which are... Where are they at? Where are they at? They're over here somewhere. Where's the sewers? But anyways, we're going to come back to the next video. We're going to be coming back to the harbor. But we're done with the harbor for now. And we're going to adventure away to the marketplace, which is kind of the third, other than Korthos. We have Korthos, the harbor, and then we've got, and I'm actually running too far. Where am I going? We've got, it's kind of the third main area you see in the game. All right, so there's a bunch, as you can look on the map, there's a bunch of yellow quests in here that are free to play that we're gonna be running. So the first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to run to the hireling vendor and see if we can get a level 4 hireling to replace our level 3. I'm not sure at what point, actually, they get resurrect, but it would be nice if we have a hireling with resurrect. And let's see. So 4 does not. 5 does not. It might be actually 7 until they get resurrect. Okay, but anyways, we'll still upgrade our hireling here. Let's just buy 1 because we should be up to. It should be in. No, we'll buy. We'll buy 2. So we'll buy Maloran here. Just to get a little better hireling, I guess. Cure Light Wounds, Divine Vitality. So Divine Vitality is good. They can cure moderate wounds as well. So, all right. So let's move on to our quest. So we're gonna go over here to the. Where are we gonna go? I think we're gonna go to the Phoenix Tavern. We're gonna go to the Phoenix Tavern. I'm sorry. Where is the Phoenix Tavern? Rusty Nail. Phoenix, yeah, we're gonna go over here to the west. So one thing you may not see is there's quests that are hidden in taverns. So the first quest we're gonna run in the market today, and the other 3 we're gonna run are over here to the southeast. But the first one we're gonna run is over here as we pass a Fate Spinner. By the way, Fate Spinners, if you're wondering what these are to level up. So past level 20. So when you get to level 20, you're going to level up at a Fate Spinner, and everyone levels up at the Fate Spinner. And that's unlike your levels 1 to 20, where everyone levels up at their own individual class trainer. Once you get to level 20, you no longer have class levels. So everyone takes epic levels past level 20. So you're not going to take there's no such thing as like a 21st paladin level. There's only 20 class levels. After that, they turn into more commoner levels where everyone... there's not as much. There's still different enhancements for the different types of characters, but they're not defined into individual class levels anymore. All right, so we're going to talk to Grinwhite here in the Phoenix Tavern and run the Swipe Signet. So this is a level 3 quest. You can also, by the way, if you want to, I know the 12 is where we bound our spirit before. If you want to, in case you die, it may not be a bad idea. We may wait and do it with the Rusty Nail later, but the Rusty Nail, probably a good place to bind your spirit, just because we're going to be running 3 level 3 quests over here. So if you die, you'll be really close. You can easily re-enter, or you can bind your spirit there. Or you can just, if you're in a guild though, you probably want to stay bound at the 12 where I showed you last video, just because that is a really convenient place to be really close to a guild ship. Okay, so as you can see, this is where the entrance is. So how did I find the entrance? Right when we got the quest, so as you can see on the map, when you pick up the quest, the entrance will flash. That's how you know where it's at. So here we go. This is where we go. Level 3 quest, Swipe Signet. Okay, let's get our new level 4 hireling. Go ahead and use. So this guy's a drow. Like his armor. It's pretty cool looking. Okay, so as far as I remember, this is a pretty straightforward quest. Pretty sure there's some poison traps in here. So we need to be on guard. And I'm just realizing, actually, we did not put our poison on our hotbar. Yeah, so poison. Not a bad idea, honestly. We'll go ahead and drink one of our resist acids. So it gives us 5 minutes of resist acid. So in case we get hit with an acid attack, what that does is basically a certain amount of acid damage, and explains it down here, but a certain amount of acid damage will be reduced if we do take it. So this is one of these where we're not going to be able to disable this trap. So we want to keep our hireling right here, and we're just going to do our best like that, just to jump over the traps here. So always be aware, you know, you can always use your twitch skills to get around traps. That's almost every situation you find yourself in DDO like that. Okay, you may not have a trapper, but in this game, there is platforming. You can jump over. You can jump over. Oh, I think we got an option. I don't know if this guy is here every time. Scourge. But anyways. Oh yeah, and I keep forgetting. I'm being a bad instructor here. We need to cast our Owl's Wisdom. Get 5 minutes of that. We also are poisoned from that that spider, so go ahead and drink a poison potion. Get rid of that. Poison neutralization. Poison's usually not like super dangerous. It'll do some ability score damage if you fail your save, but it's typically not like ultra dangerous. But you know, if you got, you may as well drink a poison potion since we got them, right? That's what we bought them for. Still looking for our great sword. How late into the game will we get until we find a great sword? So we've gotten pretty unlucky to not actually pick up a great sword. Be perfectly honest. Okay, retrieve the Signet brooch. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, this is the one. Okay, we gotta run back to the beginning because there's a door at the beginning, if I recall correctly, that opened. So you might want to see what I'm doing here, having the hirelings stand ground, because the hirelings are not smart and they will just run through the traps. So always a good idea to just keep them standing still so that you yourself get through it, and then you can call them to you so they can teleport straight to you. So there are trap boxes if you are a trapper, or you're partying with a trapper. You can actually disable those. Okay, so this door right here opened from the right beside the entrance. We call our hireling to us. He teleports right to us. So this is where we finish the quest. Got the Quickfoot gang here, which is you see them a lot in the marketplace. There's a whole adventure pack, which is not free to play, and I ran past that sonic trap there. Another good thing you can do, sometimes you can just run through traps before there's a chance for them to trigger, just like that sonic trap. Anyways, Quickfoot gang is you'll see them a bunch in the market. If you in some of the paid packs, I don't know how much they pop up in the free packs. So we got a big room here, but just make our way around. Kill these guys up here. I don't know if you actually have to kill these guys up here, but we're gonna go ahead and do it. This can be a little tricky on a melee, this room, because there is some archers. If I'm remembering the correct quest, there's a fair amount of archers here that can shoot at us that are hard to get to. We do have a throwing weapon if we want to kill them. Yeah, and you see these guys a little hard to see at first. So a lot of these Quickfoot gang, they are rogues, so you'll see them hiding. Just like you can hide, rogues can as well. That are, your enemy rogues. See, like that. If they're hidden, we may not see them. It depends on what your spot skill is. So like if your spot skill is better, let me bring it up here. Your spot skill, where is it at? Yeah, so the better your spot skill is, the better you are able to see enemies that are stealthed like that. All right, so got some stuff to break, collectible. As you guys can see, I'm not going to be breaking like these breakables. So we got some archers. This is what I was talking about. They can be a little annoying, hitting us from distance. These guys up here should be fine, but if you want to, you can stop and kill them with a throwing weapon. We do have some throwing axes. We've not managed to get a returner yet. At some point, I would like to pick up a returning thrower. You can also hide, like, one thing to be aware of, you can't hide behind objects. Like, they can't shoot through this column here, right? So we do have some throwing weapons. If I wanted to, try to take them out, we could. Like, I don't know. I guess I'll just to show you that. I'll to show you range combat a little bit. I guess I will. So here we go. So you can use the Q key, just like you can for hidden objects, to target enemies in the distance. And ranged combat in the hireling can throw a few spells. Ranged combat in DDO, by the way, there isn't really a limit when it comes to like bows, and when it comes to other ranged options like bows and throwers and things. There's not really any limit in terms of your range. Okay, what do we got here? I don't remember if there is... Yeah, we got a valve here to pull.
Air hisses as a pneumatic safety
Okay.
door opens.
We could use that shrine if we wanted to. I don't think I need to.
When the quickfoot cries, tremble before the might of wind.
Okay, so actually, I don't think we actually have to go into all of these areas. So what we're looking for is the Signet brooch, which is what we're retrieving for that NPC we got the quest from in the tavern. This is just an optional door. If you have enough wisdom, which we probably have enough wisdom to do this optional. Let me get our wisdom, because our wisdom wore off. Let me try. We actually don't. You actually need probably 16 or 18 to do that optional. So you'll see that. I mean, that's you see that sometimes in DDO. There will be certain certain runes you need a skill, certain amount of a skill, certain amount of a stat to use. Okay, so we're getting near the end of the quest here. Still got some list of topics to go through from the YouTube comments from last time. I'll jump to that here pretty soon. All right. Should be almost to the end. In this Signet brooch, if I remember correctly, gives us a trinket we can actually wear. So we actually get to keep this. Which I think it adds +1. Yeah, so here's the item. It gives us +1 heal. Not you know, not amazing. It's equivalent to +1 positive spell power, but we have no trinkets as of yet. Trinkets are actually a pretty rare item type at low levels. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys.